Each year, Aotearoa produces enough food to feed 40 million people, but 1 in 5 Kiwi kids live in households that experience food insecurity. Meanwhile, each year the average Kiwi household throws out about $1,500 of food. That's enough to feed the entire population of Dunedin or Northland for an entire year. A staggering 45% of fresh produce never gets to market and goes straight into compost, animal feed, or even worse, landfill, where it becomes 4% of our country's emissions. And it's a global problem. If food waste was a country, it would be the third largest producer of carbon emissions behind China and the United States. These are massive issues, but we have an answer that turns an environmental problem into a social solution. Food rescue. Food rescue organisations go into supermarkets, collect food that has superficial damage, labelling errors, or nearing its best before date, and bring it back to a warehouse to quality check and then redistribute it to organisations like the Women's Refuge, the local primary school, or the community food bank. And in a future where climate-related events are increasing, food rescue organisations are on the emergency front line, using established networks and ingrained community connections to make sure food gets to people who need it, even when centralised services are disrupted, helping to build local resilience to respond to adverse events. Thanks to the Aotearoa Food Rescue Alliance data platform, we know that across the country, food rescue works with over 4,000 volunteers and over 1,000 community support organisations to reach tens of thousands of people. Thanks to hundreds of food donors, every year Food Rescue redistributes around 10 million kilograms of food, the equivalent of nearly 30 million meals, avoiding more than 20,000 tonnes of CO2 emissions. And investing in food rescue is a win-win too. A social return on investment report has evidence that for every dollar invested in the sector, $4.50 of social value is returned. That's massive value for communities, funders, and the environment. No one should go hungry because they cannot afford or access food. And nutritious quality kai should never go to landfill. Let's get that food from farm to fork where it belongs and create a future where no food is wasted.